All right, we're gonna get into why everybody's out of shape, just to increase awareness, because a lot of people when they start on their fitness journey, they feel ostracized, they feel awkward, they feel like, am I doing the right thing? Am I doing too much? Listen, everything you do when you're on your journey to become extra extraordinary is gonna be extra to the ordinary person. All right, so everything that you're doing, you meal prepping, you going to the gym more than once a week, you being consistent with that, you caring about what you eat, you caring about working out, you caring about what you put in your body, you caring about what restaurants you go to, you avoiding drinking liquor, poisoning your body basically. All of that stuff is going to be extra to the ordinary person, right? And you're going to feel like, shouldn't this be normal, right? And the reason, one of the main reasons that we're cooked in society and everyone's obese, everyone's overweight, and everyone's out of shape is because we've normalized things that are literally detrimental to our health, but very, very, you know, profitable to the pharmaceutical companies. Now, here are the facts, guys. I don't care what anybody says. All right, 90% of Americans cannot see their abs, and only 3 to 5% of Americans see their abs year round. All right, now you also have to factor in everyone who's on roids, which is just a fuckload. So if you're natural and you're lean and you can see your abs year round, you're extremely rare. Now, for anyone who says, "Oh my God, it's like not healthy to see your abs year round," I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You literally have to be high muscle mass between 10 to 15% body fat to see your abs year round. It's really not that hard. If you get up to like 20 plus, that just means you're overindulging and now you're closer to insulin resistance and other issues, right? Very simple. And yeah, majority of America is overweight. By 2030, more than 50% will be obese. Not overweight, guys. Obese, which is fucking crazy. All right. Um, I think it's 2/3 of Americans are overweight right now, which is just crazy. Now, obviously, there's some people with muscle mass that's included in that BMI, but majority of them are just excess fat. All right. Now, like I said, the culture promotes instant gratification mindset. If you have a lot of fat, just take this one pill and you'll lose it immediately. People like that idea so much that they continue to fall for that instead of doing real work because real work takes time, takes consistency, takes dedication, and it requires an identity shift. People don't want to shift their identity. They want to be in the same mindset, in the same instant gratification mindset, but get all the benefits of someone who's been going through the process. All right, which doesn't make any sense, but that's how people think. So anytime people are like, "Hey, just take this magical weight loss pill," they're like, "Oh my God, it's gonna work," and then it doesn't work. They're like, "Well, I'll just find another one." It's better than actually, putting in effort and actually changing what I'm eating. You see what I'm saying? Everyone approaches weight loss like with the lottery mindset, basically. Like they're just gonna take one pill and boom, all the fat is gone. No, that's not how it works. All right, like that's just not how this shit works. All right, and most people when they try to lose weight, they go from fad to fad, and the reasons that they try to lose weight are never strong enough. Like the reason why is never strong enough to actually make a significant change. It's usually like, oh, I'm going on a cruise, so I want to drop some weight. So they just hop on keto and they lose muscle and fat. The weight on the scale goes down, but their body composition stays the same, just in a smaller package, right? They might have been 25% body fat at 200. Now they're 25 to 30 at like 180. Since they lost muscle, because they were just starving themselves basically for a couple of weeks before they go on the cruise. Then they get on the cruise, they binge, gain all the way back plus some more, and then they just forget about dieting and they forget about eating healthy altogether. All right, culture part two. Being overweight was literally once seen as unhealthy, which it still is in the medical field. However, the medical field is starting to like teach people to make excuses that make no sense. Like, oh my God, like this kid has a genetic condition while they're fat. It's like no, they don't. They just don't move. They're on their iPad all day eating candy. It's very interesting how people will complain and defend themselves, emotionally, but they won't look at the facts. The facts are when you have excess fat, you don't move a lot, you sit down a lot, you don't know what you're eating on a daily basis, you don't eat quality foods. That is literally the facts every single time, right? Now you can get emotional about it and be like, oh, it's okay to be big. I mean, it actually isn't if you want if you're talking about science, like, oh, it's okay to be overweight. Everyone has a body type. Listen, all bones are the same. If you like go look at just go look at, you know, well, don't look at graves, but go on Google and look at bones. There are no bigger bones for fat people. They don't have fatter bones. It's fat around the bones caused by bad habits. You don't accumulate fat any other way, by the way. Like a lot of people act like, you know, if you believe in God, Allah, whoever you believe in, they act like the man upstairs is just giving random people fat because he hates them or something. No, you're earning every inch of fat that you have. Every centimeter of fat that you have on your body has been earned through consistent eating like shit and not moving enough. Very, very simple. So the body positivity shit is dumb because it goes against actual health. Like when you have excess fat, you're at risk for everything. You're literally at risk for everything when you have excess fat. Literally. Very, very simple. So it's like anytime you try to normalize something that hurts the people, it's inherently important for everyone who says that, you know what, I want to improve people's health. You have to point that shit out and be like, hey, that's actually not good for your health. Like, oh, it's okay to be overweight. No, it's not. You are more likely to have heart disease, metabolic syndrome, insulin resistance, type 2 diabetes, which is going to lead to kidney disease. All that shit if you are overweight, have excess fat. All right, very, very simple. All right, another thing is, which goes into the instant gratification mindset, is people prioritize medication over lifestyle changes. I was like, damn, bro, I got type 2 diabetes, man. Okay, so let me get on this insulin and let me just consistently take, I'll consistently take this glipizide and this metformin, right? They just take the pills. When it's like, wait. Why do you have type 2? Oh, okay, because you eat a lot of rice with plantains. Oh, you eat a lot of candy at night and ice cream. Oh, you don't exercise enough. Oh, you've been building excess fat, gaining 1 pound every other month for the past 20 years. Okay, so why don't we reverse our eating habits, make them better, work out more, and lose the fat? But people don't think about that. All right, they don't care about that. They just want the medication to let them maintain their current lifestyle, which is what it's going to do. You're going to maintain your current lifestyle, right? But then, it's going to continually get worse because you never treated the root cause, which is your A1C is just too fucking high. Lower your A1C through habits. It's not that hard. It's really not. All right. Now, if you've had type 2 for a long period of time, it's going to be more difficult. But if you just got diagnosed with type 2, you need to make a change. And you literally can reverse it. I don't know why. I don't know why there should be like no medication for, like, they shouldn't give you medication for type 2 diabetes. It doesn't make any sense. Like if you just got diagnosed, they should be like, okay, well listen here, Robert, you're fat as shit. Here's what you need to do. Eat less food, stop eating so much candy, and work out. Boom, you reverse your type 2 diabetes. Simple. But people don't do that shit. They just don't. Same thing with insulin resistance. You're getting insulin resistance, your blood pressure is now high, it wasn't high before, and you're eating a lot of processed foods. The doctor should be like, okay, cool. But I mean, doctors know you're not going to do it, so they just give you medication because that's how the culture kind of wired our brains. But best believe that you can reverse a lot of these issues, sleep apnea, if you lock in on nutrition. All right, activity level. Most people are on their laptops, especially during the, panoramic. A lot of people were working from home, sedentary all day. When you're sedentary all day and you're bored, like I said, a lot of people eat when they're bored. So when people are sedentary and all day and they just start snacking, they'll be like, "Oh my God, like I'm gaining weight," and it's like, "Well, you're not moving and you're snacking all day." And they're like, "Well, it's hard when you're not moving and you're at your computer." It's like, no, you're just not holding yourself accountable. All right, or go for a walk or something like that. But you have to be intentional in what you do. Yes, you have to drive everywhere in America. We all know that shit. It is what it is, right? So I know the European brain cannot comprehend why we drive to parks to walk, but that's just what you have to do because the park is going to be like the closest park to most houses is like fucking 10 minutes away. You're going to have to drive to the park to walk, and you're going to have to drive to the gym to walk on the treadmill before you work out. Like, this is how it works, right? Now, worst case scenario, you work from home and you're always home. Like, this is something everybody can do, which is why, like, I always say excuses. Like, when you start focusing on solutions to problems, you're going to find solutions to problems. So, if you work from home, literally get a stand-up desk. If a standing desk is too expensive, get one of those little walking treadmills that have like no sides. It's just like you literally put on the floor and you just walk on it. Just do that. Do that for 30 minutes every other hour, and you're already increasing your activity level. Simple. It's really that simple. Get moving. All right. Importance of weights is overlooked. So if you want to reduce your insulin resistance, you want better metabolism, better metabolic health, right? Faster metabolism, obviously. Putting on muscle is very important. All right. Now, especially for the fellas, like putting on muscle is going to give you more confidence, obviously higher testosterone, but also it's going to be a relief mentally as well, right? It's going to be a relief mentally. Better mood, better blood sugar, fat loss, muscle gain, increased energy, better bone health. All of these are benefits. All right. People just ignore it and they're like, okay, let me do some cardio, lift some fucking weights as well. And my favorite thing to mention is nutrition, and it's an afterthought for most people. Why is it an afterthought? Because people attach emotions to the dopamine hits they get when they eat foods. Just like people who are like, yeah, I can stop smoking whenever I want to. No, the fuck you can't, because you're never gonna stop smoking, and you smoke more than you used to, a year ago. Like, you're addicted. All right, no, I can stop smoking when I want to. It doesn't matter. Listen, I'm not saying if you're functional and you're like making millions of dollars, you're making money, everything's going good in your life, and you're smoking weed, that's cool. But if you say you can stop something, that sounds like an addiction to me. Like, yeah, I can stop eating. I can stop eating this when I want to. Blah blah. When people say that shit, they're addicted. Because people do say that shit. Go like, here's the thing: when you get on this body game shit and you're actually lean, people are gonna like watch what you're eating. They'll be like, "Oh, okay, yeah. What are you eating?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm just eating some ground beef and some rice." And they'll be like, "Yeah, okay, cool." And I'll be like, "What are you eating?" They're like, "Oh, I'm just grabbing some pizza. I can stop eating this whenever I want to." No, you can't. You're addicted to shit. That's why you're eating it. All right, very simple. Watch what people do, not what they say. All right, simple, simple, simple. Stop overlooking nutrition. It's literally the most important part of being in a calorie deficit. You can't just go out and put in a bunch of work, like work out, get 20K steps, and then not pay attention to what you eat and somehow lose fat, right? Because most people are going to increase their calories because their output, because they have this reward system in their head. They're like, oh, I worked out so hard, I deserve more food. It's like, no, that's not how shit works. All right, your body doesn't need that many calories. Here's the thing: everybody in society severely overeats for no fucking reason, and they're like, "Oh my god, like I can't lose weight." Like, bro, you're literally like you're a 5'3" woman, right, who weighs 200 pounds, and you're literally eating 3,000 fucking calories a day. You don't need half of that. Like, what are you doing? You don't need that much food. Or you're a 6 foot, 320 pound male. The only way to get there is eating more than 4,000 calories. You don't need that food. Stop eating food when you're bored. It's not that deep. Long-term mindset over short-term mindset, fellas. All right. Most people do fat diets, then they revert to old habits, like I said, because they don't change their identity. This is a lifelong change. This is not something you do for a week. Like, all right, I'm going to do this 4 week program, and I'm done. No, no. I'm going to do this boot camp. No, all that goofy shit. Stop doing that. All right. And here's the thing: abs are just a sign of consistently eating clean. It's really not like people are always like, oh, like you just focus on having abs. No, I don't. I just accidentally have abs because of my habits. It is what it is. Like when you lift weights and you eat clean, like you're just going to abs are just gonna appear, and you'll be like, okay, well that makes sense because I'm so fucking locked in, right? When you have cuts in your shoulders and you have veins and shit like that, when people accuse you of being on steroids and shit like that, you're like, yeah, that makes sense because I just look lean and shit, be leaner than everybody else as well because I'm locked in on nutrition. Everybody when they go home, they lack integrity and they eat whatever they want to. How can I tell? You look at their fucking physique, bro. That's all. Look at people's stomachs. That is the telltale sign. Someone has a big stomach and they're telling you, nah, bro, I eat salads every day. They probably eat ranch with the side of salad. Let's just keep it a buck. All right. Losing fat faster means more discipline. But also remember, weight loss versus fat loss. Fat loss is not the same as weight loss. All right. Focus on fat loss. All right. Links are in the description for the programs. Fellas, lock in, man. Like I said, man, being on body game in 2025 is rare shit. It's going to get rarer because the obesity rate's going up. Stay locked in, man.